Good morning and internet not working great. I'll try that again. Good morning and happy Friday. How's everybody doing today? So, you can tell it's summertime. So, yesterday, how'd you do? I mean, that was a lot of stuff and it's very different from what we're used to. It's certainly very different from, okay, my internet is making me mad. It's certainly very different from what we grew up learning and what you're taught as kids and what is a good idea. I don't know. The internet this morning. All right, let's make sure this is going to work. Good. So, and it was a lot of different ideas and different things to do. So, I mean, it can be overwhelming. I get it. I remember the first time that I heard all of this information. And then you also can, stop for a minute and go, really? What's left, right? So I'm going to wait a minute and make sure the internet is going to decide to work today. So you can stop for a minute and go, well, what's left? And okay, now it says it's working. And I get it. You can all of a sudden be going, well, wait a minute. Everything that I like to eat and everything that I'm used to eating is not available anymore if I follow this system. And I don't know how to do any of that stuff. And I don't know. I get it. It's a big change, especially if you've lived your life eating a consistent Midwestern diet, Northern Midwestern diet. You can look at this. Wait a minute. What am I supposed to eat? How is this supposed to work? Well, let me just tell you that it can, and it can. Our internet is not working today. It can very, very well, and I got thrown into this. So the first time that I did it, I just went 100% into it, and it took a while. I mean, for a while, I ate kind of the same thing every day, and then it took a while to come up with different ideas. So the first thing that I would say is shift your focus for a little while and make food not entertainment, and make food not a reward, and make food not so much enjoyment as it is fuel and nutrition. And I'm not saying you can't go back to those things. You can't go having food be entertainment and have it be all of that stuff. But for a period of time, okay, this is annoying. For a period of time, look at your body as a machine and decide that you're going to feed it in a way so that the machine runs at its optimum level. I mean, let me ask you this. American Pharoah, horse that ran a few years ago, it won the Triple Crown. It was the first horse to win the Triple Crown, and I forget what it was, 30 years, 35 years. Let's imagine for a second that somebody came in and gave you American Pharoah. They walked up and they handed you the horse and they say, American Pharoah is now your horse. Now, would you feed that horse what you eat? Would you feed that horse what you've fed your children for the last 3 days? 3 days, 5 days, 10 days. I apologize. The internet isn't working this morning and my phone keeps popping off. So would you feed that horse what you fed your children the last 3 days, 5 days, 10 days? I mean, would you feed that horse mac and cheese out of a box and cereal out of a box and something out of a can and pop out of a can? I mean, is that what you would feed it? Well, of course not. You would insist that that horse only eats the best things possible, gets the best veterinary care. I mean, you would make sure, because that thing is a oh my God, this is annoying. That thing is a huge asset. So you would only make sure that it eats the best stuff possible. So are your kids worth any less? Now, I understand that there's times where it's hard to get them to eat certain things. I get it. But so my daughter and I got thrown into this somewhat because we wanted to, because of our connection to Tony Robbins and being around this environment. And he's been espousing eating on a lifestyle like this for 30 years. But we also found out that we had significant food allergies, and so then we had to eat like this. I will tell you that if you continue on the path, if you will give yourself 10 days, just 10 days of walking around in this experience, that your taste buds change. They really do. You will go back and reset yourself to what your taste buds were before you started eating all this processed stuff. You know, the processed sugar that is created from corn is one of the worst things that we can take in. And it's addictive. Once you start eating, you get addicted to it. And it's put in everything. I mean, anything that's in the middle of the grocery store, anything that's in a box, anything that's in a can has got processed sugar created from corn. And that stuff, I mean, it's great if you are manufacturing food because it's cheap and it tastes good and it makes people want to buy more of your product. So I get why they do it, but it's completely terrible for you. Same thing with salt. You know, sugar isn't my problem. Salt is my problem. That's the one that I struggle with. Chips and things like that. But if you, again, reset your taste buds, if you just take 10 days, and now's a great time. It's summertime. It's June. There's lots of fruit that's available. There's lots of vegetables that are available. It's warm outside, which I think, you know, psychologically makes it a little bit easier. This is really difficult this morning. If you start doing that now and just do it for 10 days, you're going to find that all of a sudden those things actually taste bad. You're going to taste a chip and it's going to taste so salty you can't believe it. I mean, meat, if you get away from meat for a large amount of time, after a while when you come back to it, it's going to be so salty you're going to be shocked at how different your taste buds changed over that period of time. Like I said, I'm not saying that you can't eat that stuff for a period of time, but just for a little while. I'm going to go